You're watching Fugitive Red Eye, and welcome to another DVD collection update. Sorry it's been a while, but, such is the way of the worm. But to start off with today, we have Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. This is a great movie. This is the Steelbook edition on Blu-ray. I love this movie. Great John Candy and Steve Martin comedy. There's the discs themselves. It's the Blu-ray DVD combo pack, I think, perhaps? Is that indeed what it is? I think that's what it is. There was a little cardboard thing at the top, kind of outlining it, but I removed that at some point when I bought it. There's the digital copy if anyone wants to steal it. No one will ever know! Behind that there is a screenshot from the movie. Next up we have Jackass Forever, which is the fourth Jackass movie. I have not seen this yet, but I did get it finally, so there we go. There's the back of the case, and the disc itself. Next up, we have Jungle Holocaust, which was actually the first cannibal movie that Ruggero Deodato did. He's the guy who did Cannibal Holocaust, but Jungle Holocaust was his first cannibal movie in what's called his Cannibal Trilogy. It's not that they're connected, but it's a trilogy he did of cannibal films, not like a series. But again, he did 3 cannibal films. There's the disc and insert. There's a bunch of screenshots from the movie behind the insert, but they all pretty much have nudity, so I can't really show them. Then next we have Cut and Run, which was his third cannibal movie, the second being Cannibal Holocaust, which I've already had for, like, ever. There's the back of the case, and there's the disc and the insert. Now, interestingly, Cut and Run actually has multiple different cuts. This is the uncut version, which I made sure to get. Alright, now much like with how I got Season 24 of South Park, I wouldn't have bought this with my own money, but I got a gift card to Walmart from work, so I bought this with it, South Park post-COVID. Again, their COVID specials I really didn't like, and I never saw this one because I was kind of done with it after the first 2 anyway. Maybe one day I will in fact get around to watching it since I own it now, but I haven't seen it yet. I haven't watched South Park since the vaccination special, but maybe I'll give this one a shot one of these days. I kind of know what happens in it, and I haven't seen Season 25 either, obviously. Next up, we have the Blu-ray of Violence Jack. I already had the Discotheque DVD, but now I've got the Discotheque Blu-ray. This was a gift from my friend Rem for Christmas. One thing I really like is that the slipcase is different from the inner case, so that's pretty cool. Because the slipcase is just like the DVD case. As is the back of the inner case is the same, but I do like that the front is different. The front is from OVA 1, so that's kind of cool. And it does have some reverse art as well that's pretty cool. So yeah, I guess it could be a reversible case if you wanted it to be too, to put that on the front. But from what I've heard, this has the uncensored versions of the scenes actually where they go in it rather than just being a bonus feature. Because I guess they found the original negative or something of the sort. So glad to finally have this. Alright, next up we have a bootleg of the Blackadder unaired pilot. I do own the full series of Blackadder, but this unaired pilot never got a home release. What the unaired pilot was effectively is it was a different version of Born to be King, but with Blackadder being more similar to how he is in Series 2 onwards, with Baldrick being the dumb one and Blackadder being the smart one. It was also set later than the actual Season 1 was, and the play they do at the end with Angus to try and kill him is different, and there's actually a joke I really like that's exclusively in this version. Because they were going to hang him, and he says, "I care not that he is well hung, but that he is hung well." But there's the disc itself. Next up, we have Lady Blue, which is the sequel to La Blue Girl. When I first watched through it, this was my favorite. It's been a while since I've watched through this series, but I am going to watch through La Blue Girl again soon, on Red Eye Theater most likely, so we'll see how it holds up. Then I got to cover part of the inside case, because again, it's La Blue Girl, so what do you expect? Next up, we have The Fountainhead. I actually just did this movie for Red Eye Theater, but unfortunately it was blocked worldwide for copyright because we did it the old-fashioned way where we had the audio played. So I'll have to do an edit of that, so that just goes into the list of ones that need to be edited down. Also, interestingly, the Salt Lake Public Library is where this apparently was at one point, but that's not where I got it from. I actually ordered it on eBay, and it came from Chicago, which I just think it's funny that it would come from within my own state, even though it was in Chicago. So, crazy small world, right? Obviously, I've never confirmed what county I live in, and I still won't. But I have been to Salt Lake, and I do think it is a bit funny that it would come from my own state, despite being in Chicago. Alright, this one's not a DVD, but it is Destroy All Humans, the remake on Xbox One. It was on clearance, and I still had some money on that gift card, so I decided to buy it. But there's the disc itself. Next up, we have Lollipop Chainsaw Premium Edition, which is a Japan exclusive. This edition is, anyway. There's the back of the case. And there's the game itself. Now, I've never played this game, but I'm familiar with it. Thought I'd give it a try. Anyway, moving on. Next up, we got some books. So we have The White Pill by Michael Malice. I actually have the digital copy of this as well, and I'm reading it that way because I bought the digital copy before I got it physically. Because when this book was released on Amazon, there was a little mishap with the pricing, where they priced it at like $200 for the physical one, originally by mistake. And Michael Malice had set it for $25, but for some reason they charged over $200. That was, of course, later rectified, and I absolutely had to get a physical copy, but I am currently reading the digital copy so that I don't have to use the physical one. Next up, we have the Tate Bible, which I don't think... It's not actually written by Andrew Tate, but it's a collection of things Andrew Tate has said, from my understanding. So there you go. There's that. Then, of course, we have Dick Masterson's classic, which is Men Are Better Than Women. So there's that. Next up, we have A Spell for Chameleon, which is the first book in the Xanth series. Now, Xanth is not a series I've read, but I've heard about it, and I've heard some controversial things about it, and of course that also got me interested in it, so of course I had to pick up the first book. We'll see how it goes. And then we have R.N., the Memoirs of Richard Nixon. So I thought that'd be an interesting read, to read about Nixon's life. This was made post-Watergate, too, so I think that'll make it extra interesting. And to end off with, we'll talk about some digital purchases. A lot of these I've had for a while, even since before the last update, but thought we'd jump into them anyway. So the first one we have is 8 Crazy Nights. That should be no shock. I had that during the Christmas streams leading up to Christmas for Red Eye Theater. So there's that. This is on Amazon Prime Video. Then there's American Psycho, the digital copy again on Amazon Prime Video. I obviously did show the Blu-ray in my What I Got for Christmas update, but I had this digital copy of it first. And to end off with, we have the digital copy of Spider-Man No Way Home Extended Edition. Again, I got that for Red Eye Theater, so there's that. I hope you've enjoyed this collection update. This has been Fugitive Red Eye. Have a good one. Toodles.
Curry sauce all over your anus. Delish.